Well, that was a first. That genie could have been so much worse. So let's see here. 6 broken legs, lost count on the broken fingers and noses, minor bleeding, that won't grow back. 1 death, but no lightening, so he won't be missed. So this went well. Drinks all around! Happy Friday, adventurers! So we found a lot of conflicting information about genies in our research between Forgotten Realms, the latest monster manual, and various other internet sources. We would love to know what you guys think about genies. Are they all inherently evil, or just neutral? Are they arrogant and proud, or just misunderstood? Would you set one free, or leave it be? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, comment, like, and subscribe. And now, back to Genies Part 2. Genies are highly intelligent, granted arrogant and confident, but for the most part, hostility isn't their first go-to. Their alignment can range from neutral to lawful evil to chaotic good. So before starting a battle, try simple conversation or negotiation. Luckily, after some minor assault and battery, some massive wind gusts, and the loss of a 300-year-old whiskey, which hopefully won't come out of my paycheck, these negotiations with that trapped genie paid off to where this tavern is still in one piece. For those of you considering battling genies, there are several things to consider when in combat. Number 1, know your genie's magical resistance or immunities and use them to your advantage. Efreet have fire immunity, but are weakened by cold. So use a 30-foot cone of ice, or a ice shard, or an exploding freezing sphere, or a 60-foot cone of freezing cold, or just weaken them with resistance, like from Elemental Bane. Marids are water-based, so fight them on land. Remember, they are also resistant to acid, cold, and lightning. So give them a dose of radiant damage with Sacred Flame, or dry them out a bit with Horrendous Desiccation, or drain them both of moisture and vitality with things like Blight. Dao are earth-based, but can be grounded with a beam of light, like Eldritch Blast. Try Hold Monster, or giggle them down to the ground with Tasha's Hideous Laughter. You can also just fight them in areas that aren't open to dirt or rocks. Keep it simple. Jinn are genies of the wind, so fight them in an enclosed area. Use Thunder Wave to push them down, or Earthbind to bring their flying speed down to 0. Number 2, prevent them from casting spells. Keep them silent in the 20-foot radius you create when you cast Silence. Cause some psychic damage with Feeble Mind. Interrupt them with a counter spell. Create a no magic zone with Enigmatic Field. And when in doubt, dispel magic. Number 3, prevent their escape to another plane with the green light from Dimension Anchor. Number 4, see them when they become invisible. Use See Invisibility spell, or potions, some fairy fire, and my favorite, glitter dust. Number 5, remember that the elemental genies have elemental restoration. So if you kill them on any other plane but their own, they will reform on their elemental plane and will most likely want a rematch. So after looking at the scrolls in the library, here are some more genies you can make new friends or new enemies with, just preferably not in my tavern. Kal-El are genies of the Plane of Shadows and Masters of Deception. They look like tall humans with dark gray skin, dark hair, and black eyes. They speak common, are telepathic, and have dark vision. It has been theorized that they were formed in an absence of elements and bonded by shadow magic. Most Kal-Els live in their great city of Onyx. a city whose architecture defies physics. The city is ruled by the King of Shadows. Minor community leaders are called emirs. Kaels are most known for their love of deception and lies. They view all non-Kaels as inferior and weak. Although they never lie to each other, everyone else is fair game. They have a tradition that if a non-Kael provides proof that a Kael did in fact lie to them, that Kael has to perform a service to that non-Kael, not for lying, but for punishment for being caught. They will work with non-Kael that either inspire them or have the same goals. They greatly dislike all other genies and have been in an endless war with Jans. Just like other genies, they cannot stay long outside of their natural plane without becoming ill. They cannot stay away from their plane for more than 24 hours. There is no such thing as a fair fight with them. Their combat techniques consist of ambushes, sneak attacks, and magic. If needed, they can retreat, but will forever hold a grudge against those who caused this unforgivable humiliation. Thunder genies, or lightning gen, let's put 2 and 2 together here, come from the elemental plane of lightning. Not much is known about these cautious genies. They can live anywhere. They look like small humanoids made of white light and, believe it or not, have lightning bolts for legs. I would love to see them on the dance floor. Anyway, they normally serve as familiars for other, more powerful entities. Their main attack is hurling small bolts of lightning, aka shocking bolts. Koroshi are the genies of cold and ice, also native to the plane of air. Their skin is blue and constantly covered in frost due to their bitter cold aura. Males are normally bald with white goatees, while the females keep their white hair long. Their average height is at least 10 feet and weigh about half a ton. They have dark vision, are telepathic as well, and speak Celestial, Common, and Ignan. They can cast invisibility, ice storm, gaseous form, wind walk, create food and water, and persistent image. Their signature move is to cast Cone of Cold from their palms. Anyone caught in this would have the heat drained from their bodies. Koroshi's primary battle tactic is to use their magic to weaken their enemy from afar. They too will retreat when necessary. Tasked genies were once members of the elemental realms, but due to being bound to a specific area performing specific tasks for an unknown extended period of time, their appearance changed. Think like when you see a human first start to work in retail or customer service. They're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, full of hope and life, and then they become caffeine addicts with dark circles under their eyes and have as much patience for others as a fairy is tall. Kinda like that, but add in a change in skin color, some extra limbs, an additional head or 2, and blood. They also take Employee of the Month to the next level. If they are prevented from conducting their work, they are weakened, have mental instability, and after their death become a 4-armed Slayer genie. Good job. For the most part, tasked genies live in harmony with humanoids. Unlike other genies, tasked genies serve anyone, no matter their position. So Marids became very attractive administrators or winemakers that have the head of a cat, the body of a dog, and the trunk of an elephant. Dao became forehead-branded architects, eccentric artists, or miners with cone-shaped heads. Jin, very attractive administrators, eccentric artists, tall and gaunt deceivers, or 4-foot-tall messengers. Ifrit became literal two-faced guardians, purple fire-eyed and obsidian-bodied oathbinders, or warmongers with their blood-drenched hair. Jan became short and tough herdsmen or highly muscular but unattractive harem servants, which is just unfortunate. In order to work for non-genies or inns, they must either be paid or enslaved. Obviously, there's better work if the genie was paid as opposed to enslaved. Only a very powerful Shayir or noble genie can return a tasked genie to their original elemental form. This process involves isolating the genie from their tools and tasks without causing them to go crazy and change into a Slayer genie. Then they are surrounded with elements of their original form, and the Shire or Noble Genie casts Dispel Magic once a day until they revert back to their original form. Obviously, if they're successful in doing this, they earn the gratitude of the whole genie kind and the loyalty and service of that newly transformed genie.